Welcome to Storytales, where love for pets meets the pursuit of dreams. I'm Penny.
I'm Ray.
Here, we will be unleashing our passion for pets and share our thoughts and experiences as we journey through our lives as pet and business owners.
Today, we will be discussing whether of you should own a pet and what to expect and the responsibility that come with it.
Alrighty, let's dive in and make some positive waves. We talked about last time how we have many pets in the past.
You mean you?
I mean, two is a lot too. Plus, you had March.
Yes.
And all these miscellaneous pets in the past. But I think the main topic here is whether or not people should own a pet.
Yes, I think this is a good topic because now a lot of people realize it's a big responsibility since I'm having a child.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why people don't get that.
So, funny story. I never got that.
You never get that? You never think pet owner has a big responsibility?
So when I got my dog, I was in college.
Okay.
Like my own first dog I got in college. And I never thought about how much responsibility is going to come with.
So you basically get a dog
and then think about it later. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was lucky because Yuffie was an amazing, or she's still here. She is an amazing dog. And
not anymore.
I mean, she's still a great dog.
She's a grumpy little dog.
She's just an old grumpy lady, you know. My bed is her bed. It's not my bed. My whole bedroom is her bedroom. It's not my bedroom. And I am her bed, actually. Like, I sleep on the bed and she's like laying on me like I'm the freaking bed, you know. But it's funny you say that because all the pets I've ever had in my life, even my parents getting the pets, like, I don't think we ever thought about all the responsibilities it comes with.
Okay.
And even the way like we raise pets have changed over time. But you are right. It is a lot of responsibility. And I think if I were to go back in time, I would have kind of considered how I would have gotten a pet and whether it's adopting or even, you know, how I'd go about raising them would have been totally different. Yeah.
Yes.
So like, I know you always think about being responsible when it comes to getting a pet. So what do you think people should consider first when trying to own a pet?
I think they should consider first is like, first, do you have the money for it?
Mm-hmm.
Because now a lot of people know they are also expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on what kind of animal you might argue. But let me tell you, as long as you have an animal in your house, you need to pay for them,
mm-hmm.
even a tiny goldfish.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I meant. You have to think about your financial. And secondly, if the animal you want does fit in your living situation. For example, if you want a big dog, but then you live in a tiny apartment, then you should not get a big dog at all. Maybe try hamster or something because they need space to wandering around, and then they also need companionship. You have to go out, walk a lot. And if you are a lazy walker like me, this is why I don't get a big dog because I know I cannot handle that. The third things I see often is that people don't follow the correct caring instruction for their animals. And that's why certain animal doesn't live as long as they can. And there's also another thing. For example, like, did you guys know cat should not eat carb at all?
Yeah.
But not a lot of people knows. So a lot of people will think like, oh, I have bread, I can feed my cat. And most of cats are also, milk intolerant. But then because of cartoon, so they assume...
they always show drinking milk.
Yeah, so they always assume cat drink milk. And that's why sometimes your cat might suffer stomachache without you knowing because they probably cannot drink milk.
Yeah. You just pointed out something very interesting. Media.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like when people watch movies or TV shows, it influences them in purchasing a pet without thinking about all the responsibilities, the pet's needs, the lifestyles, right? Like I remember like even Game of Thrones.
Oh, the Huskies?
The Huskies, yeah. Like so many Huskies. And even till this day, there's so many Huskies like in the shelter. because
Yes.
people don't realize how hyper they are, how much attention they need, how much grooming they need. It's a lot of work to take care of big dogs that have a lot of fur, and with a lot of energy.
And it's not even that. Husky are, well known to destroy the house.
Yeah.
If you can have the patience to train them, don't ever get husky. It's not the dog's fault. It's usually the owner's fault.
Yeah. Yeah. And so when you talk about like being a first time owner, getting a pet, really do your research
Yes.
on your lifestyle. I know so many people who want to have a pet, but also want to travel.
Yes.
And traveling is the number one thing that will affect your pet
Mhm.
because they do need your time. Like they have feelings, they can have separation anxiety. And for you to want to go travel all the time, maybe it's really not a good idea for you to have a pet.
Or you can train them well, like, finding a good sitter,
Mhm.
finding a good, pet hotel. But at the end, this is what I meant, you have to evaluate your own financial background.
Yeah, the cost of
Yes.
everything.
You don't want to be cheap and then lock your pet at home with no one coming.
And people do that, which is really bad, really sad,
yes.
because they are creatures that need people too. Like even for us, like we need people. We can't be in this world alone, you
Yes.
know? So locking them up is really not the way to go.
And I think the last tip that I will give people is that you also have to consider your shareholder in your environment. What I meant was that your family, your friend, or your housemate.
Mhm.
And if you rent house, you also have to consider your landlord's rules.
Mhm.
For example, like I know certain landlord out there doesn't like pet,
Mhm.
and there's reason for that, right? And you have to respect the rules. And I love snake, but
Mhm.
I know my family are afraid of them, so I will never get pet snake.
Mhm.
You don't want your silly decision
Mhm.
to ruin a pet's
Yeah.
life. For example, if I bring the snake back, and then if my parents or my brother freak out, and then we have like constant fight, I will have to give it up. And then where should I, let go?
Mhm.
Like in a while, or I should ask for the refund for pet store, or I should force one of my friends to take care of it. Either of that is not fair for the animals.
Yeah.
So that's why I meant you always have to consider people around you.
Yeah.
Don't be selfish.
Yeah. It's true. Like I would love to have a cat, but I know my mom wouldn't appreciate that because I currently reside with my parents.
Yeah.
Ever since I moved back. But yeah, you have to be considerate of other people.
Yes. See,
Yeah.
this is why I meant another responsibilities.
Yeah, well,
You are lucky.
yeah, I just kind of winged it, okay, so I did have issues in college where people are scared of pets. I always tried to keep Yuffie in my room, and I take her out. Like she goes with me everywhere. So when I go grocery shopping, I go eat places. Like she's always with me in like her little tote because she was really tiny at the time. So I had to make accommodations, like because I found out like one of my hallmates, not my roommate, but hallmates were scared of dogs, big or small.
Yes.
So it's true. You gotta consider those things, and otherwise you might ruin relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a good thing, right?
Yes, and it's also their right because they live in the same space.
Yeah.
Why do they have to tolerate something that is like scaring them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that.
But I think for my experience, I was lucky because I got married when I was 16 years old, and my dad was actually trying to get me a dog, so I can adjust like the immigration situation better, and then I will have a life that not the life. I mean, I will have more motivation to do well in school.
Yeah,
because everything is brand new. The life is new.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, I didn't get the dog I want because someone already adopted him. Was a German Shepherd puppies.
Oh, I love German Shepherds.
And right before we were about to leave, there was a lady. She asked me like, "Hey, do you want a cat instead?" I was like, I would look at a cat, but just a kitten because I want
see him grow up.
Yes, I don't want to have a bigger animal because I'm also the first time owners. And she told me, yeah, I got kittens, and I have two of them, but then I'm giving her one.
Mm-hmm.
And then she showed me, and that's how I met March.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I also say I was very lucky, because she was March original owner, and then she desperately wants someone, to take care of, her kitten well. And she found out that I don't have experience with a cat, so she makes sure I have everything. She even write down like his feeding instruction, and then help me to pick out all the essential. So basically, I go back home with like a checklist on how to take care of a kitten.
Aww.
Yes, and that's how I adopt my cat, and then that's how I start my pet ownership. So that's why I said not everyone has the, opportunity like me. Everyone probably have to, do thorough research. I did not expect I would be a cat owner. So all my study and research was in a dog, like how to take a dog. But thank you to, that lady, she really helped me a lot. And also she helped me to train the kitten already. So I did not need to train March, like potty training, all those kind of things. It just like just settle him in, and then let him be comfortable, and then he can do whatever he wants. So that's how lucky I was.
Yeah. With
my cat. And then later on, he, as times go by, his expenses go up, because first he was a kitten, so he doesn't really eat a lot. And then after that, you eat more. And then the year passed by, you start realize that there's certain food are actually not good for your cat. Like there's some brand out there, I'm not gonna say which one, but then you didn't know. Like Penny said, right? It's all about the marketing and medias. You thought those are like the good food for your...
Yeah, the commercials.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's why I say, if you want your cat or dog or animal to be healthy, as an owner, you really have to do some research to find out what exactly they need. And also, every cat are different. Like Bagel and Latte has different diet than March. And then Latte has like the weaker stomach ever. He gets sick easily. So I have to search, like the food with like the cleanest ingredient. There's no weird, chemical in there, so it doesn't upset his stomach. But compared to March and Bagel, they don't have that issue at all.
Yeah, every pet is different. Like even my dogs, right? It's not about food sensitivity, some of them, but some are like pickiness.
Yes.
Like it's either the smell or texture they just don't want, and they won't eat it. Or they will pick pieces out of it, and then they don't have all the nutrition they should have. So for a while, I've been cooking for my dogs. Like I had to keep changing the recipe until I figured out, like what they weren't allergic to, and what they'll actually eat that I cook. But then like there's, after a while they get tired of it too.
Yes, they are just like humans.
Yes, it's like, imagine you eat like an egg sandwich every day,
Yes.
like you get tired of it, but like
and also each of them have different palate, right?
Yep.
Like Bagel loves seafood, so he actually enjoy like seafood flavored food, or like those little dry fish.
Yeah.
And Latte doesn't bother. He doesn't want fish at all.
Yeah.
He prefers chicken.
Yeah, like Buffy eats everything. No matter what you give her, she'll eat it. But Yuffie, on the other hand, like is picky. Like she will not eat certain things.
Yeah.
Like I would spend like lots of money on supplements, because I'm like, oh, she's getting old, she needs some joint thing, or like just whatever supplements, allergy supplements. But like no, she won't eat them.
Yeah. See, this is what I meant. Everything costs money.
Yeah.
Right. You have to have time and and money to figure out what your pet like or not. So that's why they can stay healthy.
Well, and a lot of people neglect dental cleaning.
Oh yes.
And dental cleaning is costly, like putting them under anesthesia, getting it cleaned, and like pulling out a teeth that's I
have bad experience for that. Like I didn't know about dental cleaning when I have March, and I didn't even know cat need like toothbrushing. Did you know about that?
Yeah, they all do, cats and dogs.
Do you brush your dog every day?
No.
So you're a pet owner too?
No. Let me finish. I take them to dental cleaning every half a year.
Oh, okay.
And then I also put this Pet Lab Co. Now I'm promoting someone's product into the water that they drink, so it keeps the tartar from built up. So I don't, because like their teeth is too small. I do have like a little toothbrush, and when I take them to grooming, I tell the groomers to brush it for me too.
I see.
Yeah, and there's no extra cost usually. You just supply them the toothbrush, and then they'll do it.
So I didn't know that, and my cat doesn't need grooming, so of course I will not go to a groomer. So whenever the vet told me like, "Hey, your cat has tartars," in my mind I was just thinking, "Oh, the vet is trying to ask for more money again."
That's what most people think when they go
like
to the
what
vet.
tartar? Because
Yeah.
and then I will ask them to show it to me, but see, this is also sometimes I don't feel it's completely my fault
Yeah.
because he doesn't really explain to me what tartar is.
Yeah. They assume you know what it is.
Yes, they assume what it is. And then when they show me, they open the mouth and they see that's tartar. And I can't even see, like, is it tartar or is it just his teeth?
Yeah.
So, of course, I will always assume that he's just trying to, ask me to do unnecessary exam or, other service. Until when March was like 10 years old or 11, I forgot. And then he was like eating very slowly, and that's how I see like something happened to him, but I really don't know why, because he's always a full motivated cat. And I took him to the vet, and then that's how the vet told me like he is in serious pain because he has toothache. And that's how I found out like, oh my god, maybe I did something wrong. And then the vet started telling me like, yeah, as an owner you will need to brush your teeth every day. And if you don't do it, then you should ask professional help. Like Penny here, she just say she pay for all those dental cleaning, but I didn't know, okay?
Yeah.
And it led to March had to take out like 10 of his teeth. 10.
That's normal for pets that don't brush their teeth.
Yes. And in my mind, I was like, tens of them? He doesn't even have a lot to begin with. So in my mind, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna come back with toothless cat.
And 10 of them, like, it's costly. Very costly. Like, it's way more than you extracting your own teeth as a human.
And I also didn't have pet insurance.
Yeah.
So I have to pay everything in pocket, and there was like a very heavy bill for us as well.
Yeah.
And during the discussion, there was also like, like my mom was thinking like, maybe we shouldn't even pay for that because it's just too expensive for our family cost. But at the end, we still decide, just imagine us if we have like 10 teeth and it's killing you, like how painful would that be?
Yeah.
And it's also not fair for March to go through that for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And that's why we decide to do the extraction.
Yeah, there's always a battle between like the pet owner and whether or not the cost is justified, right?
Yes.
Like especially when as a pet gets older, you always think like, man, should I really be paying for this? But sometimes it's like if you feel like it can prevent any further issues or and that it's going to help them live longer, then I always think it's worth it. Like, but sometimes you just can't predict. Like, for example, our German Shepherd Angel passed away 2 years ago. She still looked very lively and everything, and then I thought like once she gets her surgery she'll be okay, but before she even got onto the surgery table she already passed away.
I see.
Like, you can't predict it. Like, even if they are so healthy looking,
yes,
next day like it can immediately go 180, and that's just the reality of it. So the financial cost is true. Like, that's something you have to consider, having a separate savings just for emergencies for your pets.
Yes.
Like, I as a first time pet owner with Yuffie, I thought, I want to continue Yuffie's legacy. So that's why I let Yuffie give birth once with my other dog Simba. And I actually regret that decision because not all pets are meant to breed, or to give birth. Like Yuffie, she's lively and healthy, but pregnancy is hard for her. And she ended up having a C-section. And because I saw the amount of I guess pain and just all that stress she had to go through, I told them, I can just fix her, like I don't want her to put her through that again, even though I want to continue her legacy. I want to have more puppies that are from her, but I rather like, have her well-being over, trying to reproduce more of her,
Yeah.
And so, and that was a hefty bill too, doing the C-section and also like, like fixing her at the same time. But if I know it's worth it, it's worth it, right?
Yes.
Like I'm sure you felt that way about March.
Yes, it worth the money because after he recovered from the surgery, he doesn't have pain anymore, and then he go back to the
His
happy
daily
cat.
life, yeah.
Yeah, and even my mom still laugh at it sometimes. She's like, I can't believe we spend so much money on a cat.
Yeah.
But still, he
Yeah.
at the end he is our family. You don't want him to suffer just because he's not human.
Yeah. I mean, and pet insurance is a whole nother thing, right? Like whether or not you should purchase pet insurance. And I realize there's all types of pet insurance where some are more focused on preventative while others are more focused on critical care.
Yes.
And honestly, like even with pet insurance for critical care, or the dental stuff that you have for March, you're sometimes they don't even cover all of it, even if you had it, like maybe they even cover only 25%. And so and that's still a hefty bill at the end,
Yes.
So regardless of health insurance, first you got to be, prepared to pay health insurance.
Yes.
And prepared to pay for anything outside of that. Yeah. And I never considered all that when I first got my pet. So yeah, I learned it as I go.
Yes. Hey, but some people will argue this because you guys have cats and dogs. If I choose other pet, we won't have heavy debt like you. But that's not true, right? Imagine if you have reptile animals in your house.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna need other
it's just different type of care. Like you will have to have the heating light, heating box.
Yeah.
And it also depends on how big they grow, right? You have to keep updating their cage or
their environment.
Yes.
Yeah, to accommodate their needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, one good thing about dogs, at least, is they're like forever infants. They act like forever babies. They never grow up. So the only thing is picky eaters. Like that's the hardest part for me.
Oh, that's because you have small dogs. If you have a big one, it's completely different world.
That's true. Big dogs are probably less picky when it comes to eating.
Yes, and also what they need is different. Like I know someone out there, have big dogs, and then they really don't give what they need. For example, like I don't know, I always want to have like a German Shepherd or like Dalmatian, kind of big dog. But then I find out that you need to at least run with them for 1 to 2 hours or walk with them for, more than 3 hours. I was okay, I can't because I'm a lazy person out there. And I'm not going to let my laziness to, cause another animal suffering.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I didn't decide to continue my dog owner dream.
I see. I used to have a Dalmatian, 2 of them.
Did you walk them?
The thing is, I was about 6-7 years old at the time, and they were only 1 year old, and then they got stolen.
Oh yeah.
So didn't even get a chance to actually experience them. You know what I mean? Like play with them, run with them. I would have loved to do that as a child. But yeah, I remember that day. I was so sad. So sad when they were lost. I looked for them for hours across the whole neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I still remember that feeling. First time losing a pet that way. And, there's other ways to lose pets too. But, anytime you lose anything, it's just really sad. Yeah.
But another thing is that, cats, they also need exercise. Some people, they get cats because they think they are low maintenance animal, but they are not.
I think that's a very interesting stereotype about cats. People think that all you gotta do is trap a cat at home. There's that spectrum of people,
and then
right?
just put the dry food there.
Put the dry food in their little kitty litter box, right?
Yes.
And then the other group of people are like, oh, you don't have to let the cats out. They'll just go out and come back themselves, which is also dangerous. But it's just kind of like the independence of cats versus people want to control their cats, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can speak more on that. I think it's kind of interesting you point that stereotype out.
Well, March was an indoor cat only, fully indoor cat. 'Cause I did try to bring him out when he was, kitten, and he is really scared outside.
I believe that because
Yeah.
Diana, the one that my friend found that was like left in a box in a
Mhm.
next to a sewer, when I took her in, like she never wanted to leave the house.
Yeah, so it all depends on the cat's, personality. The reason I can take Bagel and Latte out is because I also train them,
Mhm.
when they were young, and I don't just like force them out. I actually, exploring outside with them inside the backpack,
Mhm.
so they feel comfortable. And then once they feel comfortable, they will, come out and want to explore. Don't ever force your cat,
Mhm.
to be an outdoor cat.
That's really interesting.
Yes.
So
And also another thing that just because March is indoor doesn't mean they don't need to like do exercise. You have to play with them.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, they are like athletic creatures. Have you not seen how they jump everywhere?
But most people think they want to get a cat is because they are not as active as dog, and you don't have to get as many attention. That's just not right.
Yeah, that's definitely a myth.
Yeah, it's not a myth. It's just wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Like every time I mention to people, hey, my business partner, like she walks cats, people are pretty shocked, a lot of them.
It's
And
okay. A lot of
yeah.
people call me crazy.
Call you crazy.
I have friends like, yeah, you're a crazy girl with crazy cat.
Honestly, who doesn't like their freedom? I'm pretty sure cats would love their freedom if they want to be out there. Like, I'm not telling you guys you should force your cat to be out there. If they want to stay indoor, by all means, great.
Yes, like March.
Yeah.
I let him stay indoors.
Yeah, Diana too. Like she loved indoors. Like and probably because she got scared outside.
Yes.
But like some cats just want to be outdoor and let them.
Mhm.
Why not? Just because the dog park sign says dogs only doesn't mean they can't walk there.
Hey, whenever I see like no dog allowed,
That means the cat's allowed.
Yes. I like your thinking because I always stand there and then debating if I should go inside or not. And then Stanley will be like, Ray, dogs is not allowed. That also mean cats is not allowed.
Yeah.
I was like, no, that's not true. The picture is a dog.
I mean, you got a point. There is an argument there. But one thing about like being a responsible pet owner too is people need to pick up the poop.
Oh yes, I hate dog owner for not picking up the poop and then it ruined my front yard.
Yeah, like I get that you guys are in a rush or feel like, oh, it's gonna just degrade into the soil eventually, but it just doesn't. It still stays there for weeks, and like it stinks, and bugs fly on it, flies fly on it. They multiply because of the poop.
Yes.
Like just be respectful as a pet owner, not for your pets but for like the people around you again.
Yes.
Because
And
it's
also,
not pleasant.
Yeah, it is. And also like respect other rules too. Like the earlier said, we say no dog allowed. There's certain part like they don't allow pet, so don't bring them in.
Yeah, don't bring them in. Yeah,
there's reason for that.
Yeah, because people want to keep things clean, and probably
Yes.
they don't have a lot of budget to clean that area anyway. So the more you keep it clean, the better it is for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. So Ray, don't bring your cats when it says no dogs allowed.
Oh no, I don't. Hey, you know what? I actually responsible cat owner. I bring my cats to winery.
Yeah.
Before I bring them, I will always call those winery to make sure they allow cat.
Yeah.
Because even though they say dog allowed or pet allowed, let me tell you a secret. Pet allowed usually mean dogs allowed, but not cat.
That's mean.
That's we are being nice species.
That's like, yeah, that's discriminating cats.
So that's why I say, to be a good cat owner, you do have to, double check. I just brought Bagel and Latte to a pumpkin patch, and I didn't know pumpkin patch, like not all the pumpkin patch allowed pet. So I actually call everyone, and then everyone say, oh yeah, you can bring the dog. And when I found a cat, they said, oh no cat, please.
Oh man.
So I found one that, dog and cats can go. That's why we go. But otherwise, if they, I can't really find the one that I can go, then we will not go.
Oh, that reminds me. Taking my dogs places, I realized because of COVID, it has made my dogs like anxious when they're outside.
Oh, because they're trapped inside.
Because they've been indoor for so long due to COVID. And they're small dogs, you know, small dogs don't need as much exercise as big dogs. Like they run around a few laps and they're already tired and wants to nap, you know, but when I take them out now, like they just bark at everything and everyone. And like, that's something to consider as a pet owner is like, you know, if you always keep your pets at home, you're going to have a harder time getting them adjusted with,
new environment.
yeah, new environment, outdoors and stuff, because I tried to get them used to people again, but they just being nosy. They think they can bark at everyone because, you know, they own the home, you know, like they're like, who goes there, you know, whenever we come home. So like,
yeah, but some people
yeah.
find that annoying too.
Yeah, people find it annoying, but you know, that's their voices, you know, the
Yes.
dog's voice. Like you can't control how their bark sounds, right? Pet ownership is not easy, but it is fun. So I highly recommend it.
It's a lifestyle you choose, and
Yeah.
then once you choose it, you really have to, you know, be responsible to another animal, another life.
They say if you are debating to have children, you should test it out with pets first with someone.
Yeah, that's true. Because if you can't even take care of a small animal, how are you gonna take care of child?
Yeah, that's true.
You cannot put the child on the adoption right away
That's true.
if you don't want it anymore.
Sounds like Ray is ready to have her child. She's ready to be a mother. With all the experience with Bagel and Latte. Bagel's like sneaking around right now. I see him.
Yes. He probably thinking like, you guys are calling me. You keep talking about my name.
He knows we're talking crap about him. He's so cute. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about pet ownership and whether or not you should have a pet. I think, you know, having a pet is building great empathy, not just for yourselves, but for people around you, your future children or current children. I think for me, it makes me happier having pets in my life. I'm sure for Ray as well.
Yes, it is. I
Yeah.
mean, after March is gone, I actually told Penny I don't want to have pet anymore.
Yeah, and I was like, get your cat. Get your cats.
And then
Because
you
we
wait-
have products. We have products.
I waited 2 years.
Yeah, she did. She
Yeah, I
a
waited
bit.
2 years, but I have to say now I have 2 cats. I miss to not having cats.
You've been having that. Bagel, he's rubbing on me now.
Yeah.
He's like kissing up to me in case you really don't want him anymore.
Well, there's a reason for that, right? Because when you don't have pet, you have much freedom, more freedom.
Yeah.
You get to travel around without, you know, worry about like, oh, what should I do with Bagel and Latte?
Yeah. I think once you have pets and then you've been through that, you know, the experiences and the losses,
Mm-hmm.
after a while you just feel like, you know, you can't go through that again.
Yeah.
But once you have them, it's like, you know, they're like your everything, you know, they're
Mhm.
like your baby, your actual baby, and people will call us crazy dog lady and crazy cat ladies for saying that.
Hey, I walk my cat, so I'm crazier.
But, you know, like it's what we like, you know, and love. So
Yes.
yeah, if you consider having a pet at all in your life, whether it's dogs, cats, bunnies, pigs, reptiles, whatever it is, like
Hey, even a fish.
oh, fish, yeah, even fish, there's lots to consider. Do your
Yes.
research like we did, or if you have questions, we're happy to do the research for you.
Mhm.
Ray will do it.
No, I will not do it.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
You can go read my blog.
Oh yeah, we write a lot of resources for pet owners.
Yes.
So you can go to omnipetclub.com to find any blog resources or even product resources. Our social media always advertises those things too. So subscribe to us on all of our channels, and yeah, we're happy to help you in any way, whether it's the beginning, mid, or end of your journey in pet ownership.
Yeah, also please share your pet owner experience to us. You can DM us on Instagram too.
Yeah, we'd love to hear stories. We'd love to share stories if you want us to share your stories on our platforms. So yeah, reach out to us, and we're happy to hear from you.
Thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye, thanks. Chinese New Year's is around the corner, and this year is
Dragon Year.
yes, and since we are Omni Pet Club, we do not discriminate. We decided to do our design on a
Beard dragon.
Yes, a bearded dragon. I know for all those who are afraid of lizards might be scared, but
There's nothing we can do because there's no pet dragon out there.
yes, unless it's in your imagination. But this is all for the lizard fans, the lizard pet owners.
Reptile lovers.
So yeah, check us out. Every purchase comes with one red envelope, but if you would like more, you can go to our website to buy more.
Yeah, it's not too late. Go get your red envelope, as many as you can, while the supply is there.
Yeah, it's very limited. We only have a limited amount.
Yes.
All right, thank you and see you next time.
Bye bye.